Yeah. Well, our project today, of course, we're going to be installing a ceiling fan way up there. And here's my 8-foot ladder here next to the edge of the bed. I had to straddle it a little bit in order to reach it. I wasn't quite sure if I was going to have to face the ladder straight across or cattywampus, you know, over in here. But if I went too far, I might not have been able to reach it. And so I feel pretty comfortable up there. And I'm going to be installing this ceiling fan today. Look how big this ceiling fan is. It's in a master bedroom, 72-inch ceiling fan, and it happens to have 9 ceiling fan blades on there, and I have to install an extension rod way up there and all that. So if that's something you want to watch, stick around. Well, I guess one of the first things I'll do is I'll pull everything out of the box and read all about it and all that kind of stuff and get myself kind of familiar with it before I do too much. Okay. Once you unpack everything, you might think, hey, I can't do this. I'm not an electrician. Where on earth are all these wires going to go? Look at this. There's 5 wires coming out of the motor assembly. Usually there's maybe 3 wires coming out of the motor. This one in particular has 5 wires coming out of here. Here's a little remote sensor that gets installed way up high in the ceiling. Look at all these wires. How on earth am I going to figure this out? Well, step by step you can do it. You don't need an electrician as long as you don't have hot wires up there. You can do it. We're just going to turn those wires off. You can go back to the electrical panel, turn your breaker off to this particular lighting circuit, or you can turn your light switches off. And I'll get to that in a minute. And here's a wiring diagram and everything. Save this manual because there'll be troubleshooting in here in case your ceiling fan ever stops working. Let's say there'll probably be an area, see here, troubleshooting, how to install your remote control, and then there'll be a phone number for parts, how to order, see, how to order repair parts. And there'll be a phone number there and all that kind of stuff. Save this, don't throw this away, okay? And see, it came with a little plastic container, and I'll put this in there, and if I have any extra mounting screws for the ceiling fan blades and stuff, I'll put in there and all that kind of stuff. And this has a handheld remote control. That's kind of slick. Oh, this battery is different. It's a little flat battery. And I'll have to see what to deal with that. I thought it was going to be a handheld remote. You know what? I think it is a handheld remote. I think this inside bit pulls out. I'll look at that later. And then this other thing is a mounting deal that you mount on the wall, is what I'm thinking. And when I opened up the box, the first thing that hit me was this. And you've got to read everything. Important. It's imperative that you read the instructions found in the owner's manual for programming your DC fan. Your fan will not operate properly if this step is omitted. And what they mean by that is this comes factory set a particular way, and it shows you how to reset it and everything, but you can't use it in the factory set position. They tell you it doesn't work. So that's why they say it's important you read the owner's manual and the directions and everything, or else your ceiling fan is not going to work. And then you might get it all installed and think, what do I have to do? It's not even working. I knew I couldn't do it. I probably wired it up wrong or something. And no, it's because the remote, the handheld remote, is not hooked up properly. And on the back, this is a remote that fits up in the ceiling. See, this is all that holds the whole thing up there, is this one mounting bracket. 2 screws, and that's it. And then it fits up in there. I'll show you how to do it, don't worry, okay? And then after you install that up in the ceiling, this thing slips in there, right through there, and it fits up in there, and it's a really tight configuration, and then it fits up in your trim housing and all that, and that fits up there in the ceiling. Well, see, this thing here has little buttons on it too. See the back side here? It's factory set. You take a little screwdriver or the tip of a screw, let's say, and then you can make your own. I think there's 32 different codes you can make it. You could just turn one of these and the associated one in here, and it will work. Okay, you don't have to do too much fancy rigmarole and all that. Okay, so you just stick around and we'll get this thing. And when I purchased this, it tells you on your ceiling height what type of extension rod to get, because it's 72 inches in diameter, and because we're at a ceiling that is cathedral ceiling, it comes up at an angle. Of course, I got to put a down rod way up there. It only came with a 6-inch down rod, and then in the store there's another place where you can get different extensions, and you can get these extensions. I think 12 inches, 18 inches, 24 inches, 36 inches, and 48 inches long. Can you believe that? And all different types of colors. So make sure before you pick out your extension, don't just guess on the color, because they have another one that's fairly close to this color. And I actually had to take the plastic off of here a little bit, and then I had to have them open the container. And I said, yeah, open it up because I want to see what color this is. And see, this is me at the store. I actually opened this like that so I could see the actual color, so I could line it up with the color of that, because like I say, they've got different colors. You want to make sure it's kind of an important deal to get that. Look at that. Did you see that? This has a little cotter pin on it, and I believe I just dropped it down on the carpet, and my carpet, I'm gonna have to fish for it now, because we've got kind of a shag type carpet, and I'll find it. It's down in there somewhere. Okay, and anyways, it's very important to get the right color down rod, the extension rod. Okay, all right, I'll be back to you in a minute to talk about the wiring up at the ceiling and all that. I've got to find this cotter pin first, or I won't be installing anything today. Oh man, I was freaking out there for a second. I looked all around there. I could not find it, and I actually had to shine my light on the carpet, and it's right down in here. I just saw it, and I wanted you to see it. There it is, right there. And it's funny because I was standing over here, and that's where I thought I dropped it. Here's the little cotter pin. See that? Now, had I have lost it, I thought maybe when I took this apart at the store, out of the plastic bag, it came off. But well, I was lucky enough to find it. See it? Once I put it on there, it fits on there like that. That's all. See? I could have put a little wire in there, or I could have taken one of my other ceiling fans apart. It would still have worked, because this gets set slightly a different way. That this actually gets screwed in to the top of the motor housing, whereas lots of ceiling fans don't do that. It's relied specifically on just this, but this gets screwed in, and then 2 set screws get on there, and this. So it still would have worked, and then I would have had to have gotten this at the store later. But man, I'm glad I didn't give up for looking for that. Okay, so now now I've got to do some determination on some electrical on the light switches and stuff.